welcome back. My name is Marley. If you haven't already checked out my last video, you should do it. Why not? Y'all don't really know anything about me, but this is my second video. It's my testimony video, and just get over the angles. And that noise is like the smoke detector. We haven't gotten it. It's not at the top of our priorities, honestly. Like, we're parents, we have a baby girl, so yeah, that's more important.
Hey ladies, so my mother had gotten me this from Sam's. It's called Mary. Isn't that cute? It's very Christmassy. It's literally one of my favorite crew necks ever. But I'm gonna get cozy because I'm gonna talk to y'all. So I'm gonna grab a pillow. Yeah, was that unnecessary? Oh yeah, my panda pants. So yeah, this is just gonna be a video where I'm just talking to y'all about my testimony. Okay, so I already just... Is that better? Why don't I keep slipping? Anyways, no, like, this is a real serious topic. Okay, so the last one I recorded, I just kept like, bro, what are you doing? What the world? What is going on? Okay. So that's not what we're gonna do. What the world? Is it all because I try to get comfortable?
Anyways, no, but for real, this is my testimony from my experiences. Marley, okay, as long as we know that we're on the same page. So yes, we're in my pajamas. It's cozy vibes because it's literally like about to be midnight in half an hour over here in Texas. Man, I have a lot to talk about. Okay, so we're gonna start from the beginning. So growing up, my parents were Catholic because they are Hispanic and from other countries. My mother's from Mexico. My father is from Guatemala. And so growing up, we would go to church as a family together in a Catholic or at a Catholic church. And they spoke in Spanish, so I did not understand. Then down the line, whenever things were getting worse between my parents because they didn't have a great relationship, I would go with my dad, and my sister would come with me too to his church because that was at the time that he was converting to Christianity, you know. And so his church was so different than my mom's church because my mom's church, you know, well, y'all don't know, but Catholic churches have like these murals, these paintings. It's very bright and lots of lights, very well structured, while my dad's church was tiny compared to it. No pictures, no murals. They sang and closed their eyes, which was very different and strange to me at the time, you know, because I didn't know. And yes, also in Spanish. So I just had a very bad view about religion, when now I know it's not about religion, it's about a relationship. But like I said, I didn't know that back then. You know, it even came to the point where my mom had this cross at the like in front of the fireplace that had Jesus on it, and like we would pray to it. And yeah, he had gotten mad that she had it, and he disrespected my mother's belief, so he legit ran over the cross. But you know, that's his business, and I'm sure he's a changed man, but I'm still I am still learning to forgive him, for my childhood, because I did feel abandoned. Growing up, my mom was the breadwinner, and he decided to, work once a week, sit on the couch, and I actually hated TV because that's all he would do, and I was just by myself. So of course I prayed for his sister, and that's the thing. I prayed to God, and I believed in him, but I never had that relationship with him. I never asked him how he was or wanted to know about him. I considered him like he was my genie, like, hey, I want a sister. I'm lonely, give me a sister, you know? And so after not even after, but my mom just, in my beliefs, never forced anything on me, and it was up to me to decide. So yeah, I had a second boyfriend at the time, and he was religious, which is crazy, because God was like, Marley, I'm giving you this boy, trying to help you out. And you know what's insane too, but not, what's crazy, but not, that's something that I say a lot. But literally, I had told him, like, hey, aren't self help books like a dumbed down version of the Bible? And that's whenever he told me that the Bible is the only book that matters. Now I understand. Like, little did I know that that's the left side. Please exit the left, like they said. My right hand man was Jesus the whole time, and I didn't know that. So yeah, that was at the time that I was super stubborn. In fact, that was whenever I worked at this insurance office company job, where my boss lady, she was the boss, or she is the boss. And I was learning about masculine and feminine, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm confused, like, why because I even watched her child the day that I got in a car wreck, which is crazy. I was trying to go to a concert. God was like, no, you're not. uh Thank God, that I'm alive, of course, and everything. But yeah, seeing her relationship with her man, I was just like, wow, like that's something that I wanted. They were into God, and they were also into spirituality, which I thought was interesting at the time, but it never made sense to me how he was at home and she was working, because growing up, like, I saw my mom working and my dad not really working, and I wanted it to be reversed. Deep down, I've always had that belief that whenever I have my own family, that I don't want to work. Obviously, in the economy that we live in, sometimes that's not how it is, but God's always going to provide a way. And so, again, get over the angles, get over that sound, please. Just ignore it. And the way my brain functions, because this is a huge disclaimer, is I'll talk from point A to point C, go all the way to point F, jump back to point D, E. It's just how I function. I'm sorry if it's an inconvenience, but that's what it is. So yeah, and she was heavy on the self-help meditation books. And my second boyfriend at the time, obviously my ex, his name is Tyler. I don't like to say ex, like, Tyler was into gospel music. He was going to church. He was doing all the things. And I didn't want to listen at all, And so, like I was saying about my boss at the time, she was into the meditation and the visualization, manifestation. I literally just now deleted like 300 plus pictures of affirmations, manifestations, because now that I do know the full truth entirely, because that's the thing, the devil he doesn't create anything. Christ is the creator only. And I didn't know that. I thought in my journey with Jesus, I was like, wow, the devil's creating this and that. No, he's not. He's literally taking teensy, teensy, teensy portion of what God said and trying to make it his own, like his version, which is the pre-version, the perverted version, because he just twists it, and that's what he does. The dumb devil, like stupid Satan society that we live in, you know. So yeah, the meditation, visualization, that's whenever I got into yoga, and um that's the AC, by the way, yoga. And I remember feeling this feeling. I didn't know it was like detachment. You know, I talked to my man about it, and my cousin, and they were like, whoa, it seemed like you smoked, like you were high, but you weren't. So whenever I say detachment, it literally felt like my body left me, like my soul. It was weird. No. Natural high. And like I even followed this guy on Instagram too that would talk about it, and this other guy talking about shadow work. And y'all, I literally had nightmares for a whole week of people trying to kill me, and that just shows the spiritual realm. Like I'm pretty sure I was being tortured by demons and spirits because of this. Like now that I know, like that's creepy stuff, you guys. And I didn't know back then because, like I said, I did not grow up in a church. Like I was in division. That's what I was in, you know. So yeah, Tyler tried to steer me on the right path. God did, you know, God sent him, and I was just like, no thank you, I'm good, next, bye, not for me, no. And so he sent me my man, and his name is Isaiah, which is crazy because like Isaiah is a prophet in the Bible, and I didn't know. I didn't know that. Like I'm still learning, guys. I'm still learning. But he had asked me like, hey, how is your relationship with God? And you know, like, what do you think about church? Have you been to church? And y'all, nobody has ever asked me that before in my entire life. And I didn't even want to believe in the devil and didn't believe in him until like this year, last year, whatever, whenever the whole Balenciaga scandal happened. Because deep down, like I didn't want to know that there was true evil. And again, I wasn't taught about hell, so I didn't know about that stuff, and I didn't want to believe that it is true actually. That exists in our everyday lives, the world that we live in. You know, I didn't want to believe that it was a wicked world. I wanted to live in my bubble where I'm happy. Yeah, so whenever he asked me my relationship with God, I was like, what do you mean? Like, huh? Relationship with God? What is that? Like, can you explain before I answer? Because I don't know, you know? And he had asked me about church, and he asked me like 3 times. I told him repeatedly. I didn't go for a decade, 10 years, because, you know, my parents split up over religion, and it was bad conflict. Their relationship was not good. So when he asked me, I would say the 3rd time, that's whenever I told him the real truth and the full truth of how I didn't feel worthy to go to church, you know, because it's been so long, and I just didn't feel like I was accepted. And honestly, y'all, that is just such a lie from the enemy. It really is, because God loves his children, each and every single one of us, like there's no tomorrow. And when the Balenciaga scandal happened, I just, you know, that was whenever I became a mother, November 2022, and I knew about the, you know, child SE trafficking, you know, and I knew about that, you know, like the movie Taken, we watched, I'm sure we've all seen it or heard about it, you know, and I know that's real, but now that I'm a mother, I'm a parent, it took a whole nother level. And back then, whenever I used to watch conspiracy theories with Shane Dawson, back in the day on YouTube, years ago, 2017, 16, I would stay up watching them because I loved learning about that. And so I'm just so thankful that God sent me a Johnny Rain, because she ties the gospel to it. And it makes so much sense. Like, you guys, whenever I learned, well, first of all, whenever I gave my life to Christ around that time, I was also listening to Save Not Soft, the podcast by Emmy Moore, and that's whenever I said like that prayer. I don't know what it's called, but to give my life to Christ. That's whenever I was like, wow, like I truly knew nothing. I was just feeding off of those little goldfishes of truth, not the full buffet, like seriously. And God just kept me out of a lot of stuff, because I in my family am known as the quiet one. My cousins called me boring and lame, because I like to do old things and I have an old soul. I love to, well, I'm trying to get back into the habit, but sunsets, watching sunsets, just like cute romantic stuff, back in the day. Call me old fashioned traditional. Now I just have so much respect to that for that. And so, yeah, back to my boss and how we were all, on board for it because we thought it was cool. It was something new. The meditation, visualization, the vision board, the chakras. Apparently, she astral projected, which is crazy because whenever she told me how, in like quantum physics, how her and her friends saw like other goddesses and another planet, like, you guys, I want you to know that that's not a coincidence. And guess what? Coincidence starts with a C. And guess what starts with a C? Christ. So that's just what it is. Like, those, no, I truly believe like those are demons and spirits. And like I said, I don't know much, but this is what I do know is I always thought it was weird and creepy, whenever Shane had mentioned how people would take DMT, psychedelic drugs, and a lot of people's, I guess, stories, testimonies, whatever you want to call them, were like, yeah, I heard voices like, oh, wow, he's here. Like, no, y'all don't think that's creepy that voices are whispered, he's here? Like, those are probably the demons saying, oh yeah, we're here to torture him, but he don't know. He too dumb and stupid. No. Like, thank God you really kept me out of weed. I never had an interest in weed. Like, there's been so many times. Literally, y'all, the day that I quit my marketing job, after I worked at the insurance company, we had a Bible study. There was like 8-10 people at an apartment smoking weed around me. I was the only one who did not smoke weed. So yes, I had so many opportunities. I just didn't. I did honestly did hookah, but I don't think it was real. And then any type of liquor, I absolutely hate. I hate it. Like, because in Miami, I did allow the girlies to peer pressure me. And honestly, I shouldn't call them girlies, but the girls, I mean, they're girlies either way, to peer pressure me. I fell into that and I just drank the whole champagne glass. It was disgusting and I did get tipsy. But for my 21st birthday, my mom had rented out a bar cart and she put this much, that little metal thing, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't care to even search it up. I really don't care. She put vodka, like it was a mixed drink, cranberry and vodka, and I love cranberry juice. So literally whenever I took the drink, I didn't even sip it all because I think she told me, or I like saw her out of the corner of my eye. I just took a little sip, tiny sip, and I said, I don't want this. And I either got up, got my own cranberry juice, or just, I don't remember. And people have tried to make me mix drinks, and I'm just so glad that God kept me out of that. I'm not saying that I didn't try them. I did. I'm just saying that I didn't have the desire to keep drinking, I just didn't fall into that because he kept me out of that. He also kept me out of partying because I enjoy, hangouts, but partying, I couldn't. I love my sleep too much. And now I love it even more. Cussing, however, I did used to cuss like a sailor back then, and I'm so glad that I don't cuss like that anymore. And yes, to just elephant in the room, my man and I were not married yet. We are going to get married soon and have counseling because that's what we're trying to do. And like I said, we have a baby girl. So yes, I fell into that, but he was the one that brought me to God. God really sent him to me. Because Tyler, God tried with that man, because he is, I'm sure a man of God, but God tried with him, and it didn't work out. He was like, Marley, I'm trying to point you in this direction. He goes to church, he's studying, he's reading the word, he's listening to music, he's doing all these things. And I was like, I don't care. Next, bye-bye. And so God was like, okay, I'm going to give you what you want. It's going to be hard because just because we're on our relationship with Jesus does not mean that we don't have trials, that we don't fall into temptation, that temptation does not happen, because it does. So yeah, as long as we get up, we repent, and I'm still learning, to go to God and be like, hey, God, I did this. I know you know that I did this. I'm sorry. Please take these fleshly desires away from me. I can't do this on my own. I need you. And just to talk to him, because that's what it's all about. It's not a religion, and nobody's perfect but Jesus. He is literally the perfect one and the only one. Y'all, I don't even know about, I did, but in Spanish. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Catholics, whenever they did that cross thing, there's so many things that I don't understand in other religions. And growing up too, I had asked my mom, why are there so many religions? Like, why are there so many, like, different religions and cultures? Like, that's another thing too. Like, the Muslims have this God, the Buddhists have this God. Like, why is it so different? Why do they all call them God? And my man and I had talked about that, and he was all like, well, actually, it's just a distraction. Like, the one true God is, Jesus Christ, our Heavenly Father. And so all my life, I didn't know that I was searching for God. I was searching for the answers in conspiracy theories. I was searching for the answers and just trying to fill myself up with things. I know I said I didn't do those things and I didn't enjoy those things, but that doesn't mean junior year I was super sad. And honestly too, I was even depressed, you guys. Like, I remember my friend Diego, who said I cuss like a sailor. So there's a high school right here. Then there's like the road to get to the neighborhood where I lived. And so I would just cross it. Like, yes, I would look both ways, but honestly, I didn't care. Like, I would walk so close to a car. Like, I did not care if they hit me. And whenever I was super sad, because I would cry myself to sleep like every night. And I would have the biggest smile on my face, but yeah, it was bad. And whenever I used to be really sad, I would go on drives, bawl my eyes out while driving. So I could not see. It's like somebody blindfolded me and I was behind the wheel. I remember driving to the park late at night, and I saw this deer stop in front of me. And I just like slammed the brakes because I didn't want to hit it. And that's whenever I was like, wow, this deer is so beautiful. Like, it's, 10, 11 p.m. at night, whatever time it was, and it stopped there. And I just, like, the thoughts just went away. And yeah, it was beautiful. It was really beautiful. And whenever my man and I, got together, he had invited me to his church. Obviously, like I said, it was down the line, the way that we met and to now, like, our relationship isn't always rainbows, just like anything, we all go through growing pains. And yeah, he had invited me to his dad's church, and it was so different because my man is Black, so I was the only other Hispanic lady there. I was just, caught by surprise, but y'all, whenever they would praise God, like, I really wanted to be a part of that so bad. They would just get up out of their seats, jump for joy, run around, just so happy, and I wanted that so bad. Like, growing up without a dad being present, like, that really affected me because I would look to other guys for validation, assurance, I would look to the world. I would listen to sad music, and I would have these thoughts, y'all. And I remember it was high school. My physics class, I was telling my friend Robert in the class, like, hey, bro, do you have these thoughts? And he was like, whoa, those are weird. Like, no. And I would tell him, like, whenever I would be in the kitchen, I would just think of hurting myself, like, oh, what if I got a knife? And like, those were the thoughts that I had. That's crazy. I would never do that, but I was thinking those things. And now that I'm learning, it's like these spirits, these demons, these generational curses, you guys. Like, whenever they say blood is thicker than water, oil, whatever it's called, it is. So some things are harder to break, but I mean, it's all in God's timing and his purpose. So yeah, I had went to Isaiah's dad's church or Isaiah's church, and it was cool. This prophetess, oh man, y'all. So I was sitting down, right? Of course, being quiet, observing, trying to take everything in. And whenever she was talking about healing, like, does anybody need healing? So they would pray for people. Like, it's literally like called Back to God Deliverance Ministry. So they would do deliverances. Oh man. And yeah, like, the stuff I saw was like confused because I've never seen that before ever in my entire life. And so whenever she called me, she's like, you come here. Y'all, they were talking about change and transformation. Like, Romans 12 is one of my favorite scriptures, and I'm still learning, how it goes in order because, like I said, my brain. But yeah, it's just amazing. Whenever she had called me, I don't know what exactly happened. That's the thing. Excuse me. I don't remember what exactly happened. I just know that she had called me. I went up to her, and I was crying. And I feel like, apparently, I don't know if I felt myself fall backward, but I just know that, like, it was dark because they had put a cloak over me, and I was on the ground, and I had wanted to get up, and maybe I was confused if I could get up or not. I don't know. Like, I should ask them, like, what happened to me, but I desperately wanted healing that time. So yeah, I mean, my testimony is all over the place, like I said, but growing up from religion violent conflicts to having a religious boyfriend who was, battling between me and God, and then to now, my own journey with Jesus. And even whenever I was a child, like I was probably 8 years old, my Theo on my dad's side had given me a Bible, and I was literally trying to read it like, okay, first page, let's read it. And I didn't understand. Like, y'all, I was so in the dark. And whenever I became a mother, that reality hit. But it just made me believe in God so much more, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but I didn't want to believe in the devil because deep down I didn't want to believe that evil, devil has evil in it. I didn't know. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All these revelations, y'all. Like, oh my gosh. I didn't want to believe in the devil. I didn't want to believe in things so evil. And I remember like this show that had this family, and they were like, I guess satanic worship, or Satan worshipers, whatever you call it, devil worshipers. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, now that I just thought about it, God's like, hello, remember this? Like, there's so many signs, because my dad did not allow me to wear tight clothing. He did not allow me to date. He did not allow me to watch certain shows, movies. So whenever y'all say, have you seen this movie? What, you haven't? It's classic? No, I haven't. And I'm glad that God, just didn't put that desire in my heart. Like, I don't care. And I'm very appreciative of it, But I just wanted to stay in my bubble. I wanted to be naive Eve, because Eve was naive whenever she ate the apple, She wanted to be like God. And that's what the new age that I was a part of, and I didn't realize it, the yoga, because oh my gosh, I should do a separate video of my dreams, because my dreams are crazy. But the yoga, how I didn't understand that it's demonic, but there's this Cali spirit, and I used to love this artist named Cali. Like, y'all, I used to love music so much. And thankfully to my pregnancy, I'll talk about it more in that video, because that's a long video too. But yeah, yoga, how apparently the warrior pose, you're like summoning a like the entity, a spirit, a demon, whatever. And y'all, these ghosts are not your friends. They're not. It's just a facade. That's all that it is. The Casper the Friendly Ghost, no. He's not your friend. He's just trying to win you over so he can destroy you, because that's what the devil does. The enemy seeks to kill, destroy, and lie. Or however, like I said, I'm still learning. But yeah, yoga, meditation, I was into meditation, and I had done this shadow work, and it was creepy. Like, why would I want to hug a black image, like a shadow? That's creepy. I don't like that. I'm not with that. Visualization, like you would have to visualize yourself in the quantum physics and manifestation. And y'all, remember growing up where it would say like bloody M into the mirror? Like, you guys, that's why I've never liked horror movies, and I'm so glad that I don't, because your eyes are a gateway, your ears, the things that you feed your spirit, it impacts you. It really does. And that's why you have nightmares, because there's a physical realm and a spiritual realm. And I know some of y'all are shocked, and I was too. Like, the whole werewolves, vampires, I was never into those shows, movies either. I just didn't have a care for them. And that's why I'm so thankful that God led me to Ajani Rain, because I watch her YouTube videos, and then just, y'all need to check her out, because she is amazing. Like, she prays for Hollywood, and it's so incredible to see because some of these celebrities, you know, I had looked up to too, but I never was like, oh, I wonder how they're doing today. I was just like, wow, they have all this stuff, you know, blah blah blah. Like, I thankfully don't really care about the materialistic side of it anymore. And honestly, like, a lot that they have to go through is sad, you know, to have like all the paparazzi in your face like that. I don't know how they, you know, live, but God's on their side, as always. That's the thing about God, too. Excuse me. I know I just ate like hours ago, and y'all are probably like, why is she scratching? Why is she? I'm just being comfortable, y'all. But, what was I saying? I don't know. It'll come back to me later. But about, like, you know, what celebrities have to go through, and like, this stuff is real. It's so real because Ephesians 6:11. Yeah, I'll probably insert it here, like the Bible verses that I'm saying. But yeah, it's crazy, but it's not, because whenever I built my relationship with Christ, now I understand more things. I really do. Like, you know how people are like, oh, why does a celebrity look younger? Well, unfortunately, some of them literally drink blood, like adrenochrome. That was the whole like Balenciaga scandal whenever, you know, I was getting really depressed. Not really depressed, but I just, that's a bad word. I should have said, like, I was just losing, not faith, not hope. I just was like, something in me was like, this is real. Like, I didn't believe in that stuff, you know? And now my journey with Jesus, I'm like, wow, like, this is not a joke. Whenever I've heard people say, like, it's a battle every day, I see now, like, you guys. Oh, I was just telling my sisters. So my sister and I had went out to eat, and yeah, it was just weird because the waitress would only talk to her, and she was wearing this like 3-finger symbol thing, which also I'm like getting rid of. Like, I cut up a book, and you know, things that I just don't believe in anymore, things that don't align with God's will, and idols and stuff like that. But yeah, she just wouldn't really look at me. Like, she literally would have her, like, her side to me or back to me, and I thought that was really strange because obviously you could tell that I was older. But I don't know if it was because my little sis was taking initiative or what. I don't know. It was definitely weird. But yeah, I mean, that's my testimony from, like I said, you know, not growing up with like 2 religions, not going to church like that, didn't know what a relationship with God was, falling into New Age because that's what was trendy and hip. And honestly, about like the crystals, I just think they're pretty. I've never understood them. And deep down, I really believe that all of us do know God. We just try to look for him in anything and everything. You know, I try to look for him in relationships and guy friends. And thankfully, you know, he kept me out of drugs, he kept me out of parties, kept me out of weed, which is a drug. I meant alcohol too. And it's a journey. It really is. And now that, you know, I'm learning to be on fire for God, why wouldn't I? Like, he literally loves each and every single one of us so incredibly much. So yeah, that was my testimony. I've always wanted to share it. And honestly, like I said, the first video was like longer, but I kept having to add commentary because I had so much to say. But yeah, like, all those. And then I had learned to this podcaster that I used to listen to about like the tarot cards, because I even had wanted to go to a psychic, but now, like I said, I don't have the desire to. And the reason why they know things about you is because they're with the op, y'all. Like, the devil gives gifts too, unfortunately. But it's just a little bit. Just a tiny bit compared to God's. That's all that it is. And so the crystals, the meditations, the chakras, like, I was into that. The sound frequencies. Apparently there's affirmations, there's subliminal messages. And the reason why I don't say I don't care about those things anymore is because I'm not knowledgeable in that area. There are other people, like I said, Ajani Ray, knowledgeable about it. And I'm sure you guys can find other, Christian creators, because I can't tell y'all much about that experience. I know a little bit, and I know that it was weird because I heard some people would say, like, I am lowercase God. Like, whenever I say lowercase, I meant like they were saying uppercase, but I'm just saying lowercase because I looked at myself and I'm like, I look kind of crazy. But who cares? Who cares? So, yeah, that was my testimony. How my life turned a 180 because I went from fatherless to having my Heavenly Father, and you guys have him too. I've always heard that he's a gentleman, and he's only going to come into your life whenever you invite him, welcome him, and accept him in, because, like I said, we're all trying to find the meaning of life. What's our purpose? I was there. I had no idea. I didn't even go to college. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I went straight into working. And so I know that I'm here for a reason. And I always knew I was different, from being called boring and lame. I just knew, like, I was different, and we are God's children. We are chosen. And so on my mom's side, how them being Catholic and them worshiping saints, I don't understand that. And from wearing the red bracelet that I used to wear because that was my idol, I had thought of how, it's good vibes, and I was relying on this red piece of string instead of God himself, and I would listen to the affirmations, like I said, music, movies, shows. Like, I don't even really watch shows like that. Like, I just mainly watch YouTube, TikToks, Instagram. Like, I don't really watch TV like that at all. And yeah, on my dad's side, how they're all like believers of God, but how only like one or two couples are together still, which is insane. And growing up from, a couple that didn't have the best relationship, ended up getting separated, and my man's, parents too, like, we had told ourselves whenever we do get married, like, we're never gonna get a divorce. And I'm happy that we stand on that. And even though, we do have a child, like, I am very, very happy to say, like, he's the only one. My man. Just like y'all are waiting, I'm very proud of y'all. And even if, like, you've had more than one person, that you've slept with, God forgets the sins that you committed back then. Because, like that Bible verse, I believe it's in Galatians 5, is that we are a new creation in Christ, or 1 Corinthians. I don't know. I have to look it up. But yeah, which is so amazing. Like, we fall back into sin. It happens. We're not perfect. So yeah.
I hope y'all enjoyed my testimony. I know, the angles, the lighting, the noises, it was all over the place. I know. Subtract it, deduct it off your checklist if you want to. I don't care. I'm over here just
sharing my testimony, my story, and how I've always wanted to share it, and how God really just, saved me from so much. He prevented me from falling into drugs and alcohol. He stopped me from being so incredibly sad. Like, you guys, I was so sad, and y'all wouldn't have believed me if I told you, And I had wanted friends for the longest time that actually cared about me, and I'm still on that journey. I mean, of course I have some. Shout out to my girlies. Yes, of course. My loved ones, my family. Yes. But I'm just happy that I'm slowly but surely having my confidence in Christ, and being able to talk about this and, share my journey with Jesus, and hearing other women, other men's journey with Jesus is incredible, because, and like I've heard somebody say, in a society full of self-seekers that just, want to help themselves, do things for themselves, love themselves, I'm happy that I serve a high, mighty God that changed my life. Because I didn't want to be a mother at this young age, I felt like I had so much healing to do because of growing up, not being the best sister to my sister, my parents, the relationship that I had, the friends, that I told everything to, and yeah, I even, something as small as like loving my body, because whenever you're Hispanic, like, your family tells you, oh, you're too thin, you need to eat, oh, you're too big, you need to lose weight. Like, no, I am on my health journey. Okay, you don't have to sway me this way, sway me that way. Like, I'm working on myself for God. I am no longer people pleasing like I used to. I'm no longer like gonna do things that I feel uncomfortable to do or to talk about, So yeah, I'm just learning so much, like the whole culture thing, because I noticed that a lot of Hispanics are Catholic too, and it's like a culture thing, like just like how Asians are like into Buddhism and Taoism and being monks and all that stuff. Like, y'all, that's even like Africans doing voodoo. That's not a culture thing. That's all witchcraft. And I know the word witchcraft and demonic are thrown left and right, but that's what it is. This whole magic thing, that's real. That's real. Like, there was in my first testimony video like something moving, and I'm like, I guess that was an angel, I don't know what that was, but it moved. It was a light from here to there. There was nobody in the house except me and my baby girl. So yeah, I mean, y'all, this is real. Like, people say that we are spiritual beings in a human existence, and they're slightly right. That's why we have the Holy Spirit, that intuition, gut feeling. That's the Holy Spirit, y'all. But it's soft sometimes for me. And even growing up, I heard two different voices with my dad, because I would stay, with my dad all the time. And every time I felt like I chose the right thing, like he had told me, oh, you need to do this or do that, I would have these two voices saying like, oh, you should do this right now, or no, you should do it later. And I would get disciplined for it. And so that's whenever now, like growing up, I didn't know how to make a decision, and I was so stopped by fear. But fear is of the enemy, y'all. So we have to take steps and to walk in faith because God's got us. He's not going to tell us what to do, like Chell said. You know, he's not going to give step 1 through step 2087. We have to take that leap of faith. We have to take the first step. And he'll correct us. He'll guide us. He's always there no matter what. All those nights I was crying, he was there. All those times that I was in my room whenever my parents were arguing, he was there. All those times where I was sad because my best friend for like a decade had stabbed me in the back, he was there. All those times where I didn't have friends, he was there. All those times where whenever I was pregnant and was sad, he was there. All those times where I didn't know what I was doing, he was there. All those times where my weight fluctuated, he was there. He has loved me and loved you no matter what. The thing about God is, I truly believe he's not disappointed. He's just like, really? You did that again? Come on. But at the same time, he's like, okay, you said that you won't do it again. I believe you. You are forgiven. Guess what? I love you. You are worthy. You are great. Because we were fearfully and wonderfully made. Oh, y'all, I'm also learning, instead of doing things to please God, like, of course, I still want to please him. But I'm learning to do things with him. Like, walking with him, eating with him, saying, like, God, what should I wear today? God, how should I do my makeup? Because, y'all, he's literally the blessed. Yes, he's both. The best in anything and everything. He really is. So that hole in my heart, people say that's God-sized filled heart. They're right. Everything that I was trying to fill up my heart, my soul with, that I didn't feel complete because I kept needing more. That's the thing with society and the world that we live in. We need more. Oh, the affirmations that I used back then are not working. I need more. I need to listen to it every single day. I need to listen to it whenever I go to sleep because I was there. I was there, y'all. And guess what? Now I can just talk to God. And it's cool. It's great. And everybody's relationship with him is different. It's different, okay? And it grows in time. But yeah, okay. God, is that gonna be all for now? Or like, what else?
I can't think of anything else right now. Talked about music, clothes, briefly, shows. Yeah, I've just heard crazy things in other countries. Because
quick story time. I had went to Mexico because my grandma's funeral, and I remember that we were not allowed to go outside into the streets. Like, literally, they closed like the gate to the house. And there was these drunks just walking around. It was scary. They were like, no, don't go. It's bad. And I never understood why. Excuse me. But I had this friend that worked at the office job saying that a relative was like a good witch, which is crazy, that they used witch because witches and warlocks, again, they're real, y'all. I know it sounds crazy. I know. But once you have your relationship with God, like, he just reveals everything to you. Obviously, some things because you're ready in more areas than others. Like for me, I loved conspiracy theories so much. I always enjoyed that knowledge. So whenever he led me to Johnny, I was just binge watching her stuff. About Miss Doja Cat, who I used to love, about Kanye West. She did Bible studies. Yeah, I was all in. And then, like I said, I found Emily Moore, how real she was, how she helped me give my life to Christ. Then I found Chell's Chai Chile, or Chai Chow. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I keep scratching because my journey, and it still is a journey, but I'm so glad to be a part of it. Yeah, okay. I think that's all, but have a great day, love.